Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Football section, or FFS for short. I'm Tom Webster and it is game week 8. We are up to 81 participants in the Red All Over League, but it is never too late to join if you want to be a part of our league. I will put the link in the description and the comments down below. Now, before I jump into the usual league table and awards, I want to acknowledge a major oversight on my part. I completely missed 6 teams playing twice last week. From League One, they had 2 games because of international call-ups previously and the game being cancelled, and they was catching up on Tuesday night. However, my advice was pretty good for the rest of it. I chose Leeds, who picked up 11 points, told you to avoid Pompey, they got 0, and I also said pick Madja and Coeth, who also picked up some good points. So I'm not completely and utterly useless. Now it is time for a quick butchers at game week 7. And we are into the top 6, and it is all change. Waymaker drops down to 3rd from 1st place. Tykes FC takes his spot at the top. And EFL Fantasy Josh is 2nd. But it is so tight up there. There is just 3 points separating those 3. Blackpool Tangerine Army finally gets lets go of 3rd and drops to 4th, and Ponty Reds, who had a commanding lead just a few weeks ago, has dropped down to 6th. And it's now time for the top team of the week, and this week's top team is Blackpool. They beat Charlton 2-1 and Huddersfield 2-0, both away from home, picking up 20 points. They were so close to getting the maximum of 22. Now, there is has to be a banter side if there's a top team, and the banter team this week is Huddersfield. They lost twice in a week, one heavy defeat of 3-1 to Orient, who had not previously won a game before that, and to Blackpool 2-0 at home. They got 0 points from 2 games. They are the banter team of the week. Now it is time for your star man, and it is Dion Charles. Now, he only played 1 game this week, but still managed to pick up a massive 23 points. He got a hat-trick for Bolton. Now, if there's a star man, you know there has to be a pants pick, and it is Harry Clifton of Doncaster. He got -2 getting sent off after only 10 minutes. If you had him in your side, he has cost you, and he was a pants pick. Now it is time for the People's Champion, and this week it is EFL Fantasy Josh, and he scored a massive 105 points this week. That's right, 105. His biggest scoring player was Poku, who he also captained to gain a massive 38 points. He was very smart in what he did this week. All 7 of his players played twice, and he also picked 2 teams that were playing twice, one of which did very well for him, Peterborough, scoring 12 points. One not so well, he picked Huddersfield, and again, I told you, had 0. There is a shout out though to Al, who has told me he's had his best week so far. He got 71 points. It's not quite 105, Al, but you are getting better each week, and it's great that you're improving. So get in the comments down below and tell me who you're picking this week. Now, moving on to the part you've all been waiting for. The Participation Award, the Well Done for Trying. And this week it is US Mom. M-O-M. And they got 17 points. And if I'm honest, US Mom sounds like an OnlyFans page. So I'm not quite sure what is going on there. But now it is time for me to disappear, as it is week's ultimate team. And this week's ultimate team's formation is 2-2-2. This would have given you maximum points with this combination of players. And starting in goal is Sam Tickle of Wigan, scoring 16 points. 2 at the back is Carlisle's Sam Lavelle, scoring 17, and Blackpool's Oliver Casey, notching up 16. In midfield, we have a partnership of Ethan Galbraith of Leyton Orient scoring 22 and Kwahim Poku of Peterborough scoring 19. And I'm sorry for butchering your name, Mr. Poku. And up front, we have the pair of Dion Charles, who got 23, and Malik Mothersill of Peterborough, who got 19 points. The two teams you should have picked were Blackpool and Orient, picking up 20 and 14 points respectively. If you had the Starman captain, that gets you double points, and this all combines for a complete maximum total of 189 points. So if you had any of those players in your team or picked the two top scoring teams, well done. Also, well done if you picked up any who played only once and got 11 points. Now we look ahead to game week 8. And it's a double header for everyone this week. And I'm going to start off by suggesting a team you should pick. And that team is going to be Rotherham. Now, they have been fairly poor so far this season. However, they face Shrewsbury and Cambridge away from home, and they are worse than most other teams. They have not been picking up points, even against teams in and around them. I think Rotherham will have too much, and this may kick start their season. So I am suggesting Rotherham. Now, one to avoid this week, I think, is Oxford. They have been amazing so far this season, but they are up against Burnley, and it is followed by a tough trip to Kenilworth Road to face Luton. And I feel it could be 2 losses within the week for them. Now it is transfer Tinder time, and I'm going to start with Dion Charles. He scored a hat-trick at the weekend, like I said, and they are up against Crawley and Northampton, and I'm hoping he hits a little bit of a purple patch, as he's been relatively ineffective in games previously, but I am swiping right on Dion Charles. Next up, I am going to talk about Dishon Bernard, a centre-back for Sheffield Wednesday, who has picked up 3 yellow cards already this season, and they are up against West Brom and Bristol City. I think they're going to struggle against these two teams. I think they will concede, and I think he may even get a card or two, so I would swipe left on him. Now we come to Matthew Platt of Notts County. He is also a defender, but has been fairly steady picking up points. He's not had massive weeks where he's gained like 15, 16 points, but just a steady amount each week. He's very consistent and constantly ticking over. But they are up against Morecambe and Carlisle. Morecambe scoring only 3, the lowest in the league, and Carlisle with only 8. And I can't see either of them troubling Notts County's defence, so I am swiping right on Platt. Now on to Blackpool's James Husband. He came off at the weekend against Charlton and has not been training. He didn't even make the bench Huddersfield midweek, so I would swipe left. He is still a massive injury doubt. I don't think he will be playing. And finally, onto Michael Hellick, which I know a lot of you will have, being an ex-Red and this being a Barnsley channel. Now, he came off holding his hamstring after 17 minutes on Tuesday night. I think he will be a doubt for the weekend, so I am swiping left. If you have him in your squad, get him out. Now, last week, my advice was pretty good. This week, you may think my advice is completely and utterly rubbish, or you may even think it's great. Whatever, just get it in the comments down below. Tell me who you're swiping left on, who you're swiping right. Which team do you think is going to pick up maximum points? And thank you very much so far for listening. And if you've made it this far, please like, subscribe, and have notifications turned on. and this has been the fantasy football section.